Hello, Zainey friends. Welcome to Makeup and a Movie,
where I show you how to do your makeup.
and I talk to you about a movie.
And today we're going to tell you why you need this palette, the Pretty Birdie Palette, either with swatches that we did earlier, so make sure you check our playlist down below for all of our swatches and makeup looks. But I am going to be doing this palette, and we're going to be talking about
Wonder Woman.
And this is part of a collab with a bunch of ladies in my Geeks and Beauties community, and as such, I am wearing this dress. Woo! That I got from, it's reversible. It has the Wonder Woman symbols on the inside. But I got it from Torrid. I think you can also get it from Hot Topic. And I'm also wearing my Wonder Woman earrings that I made. Anyway, everyone who's taking part of the collab will be down below, but I will also put a little link right here that will list all of their channels for you so that you can check them out. Before we start, make sure you don't miss any of our interactive opportunities. Like, subscribe, and instead of hitting the notification button, because apparently people don't want spam, we are going to have you opt in to our email updates, which you should be doing anyway, because then you won't miss out on anything we're doing anywhere. So if you go ahead and go down below there, put the little link that will get you to sign up to our email updates. Then go down below and comment Zainey fam, and we will shout you out in a future video. We have one more person, and I am going to put their information right here. Also follow us on social media, that's going to be right down below. And if you are a content creator, make sure you join us in our Geeks and Beauties community. Was it super fun? We just had a live chat on Facebook, and that was
great stuff.
That was really fun as well. For this video, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a poll. So if you look right here, again, I'm really utilizing these cards. If you look right here, you are going to see a poll. So I want you to tell us which Wonder Woman you prefer. Do you prefer Linda Carter? Do you prefer other Wonder Womans? I'm going to have to look up and see who else it is. Or do you prefer the new Wonder Woman?
So what are you going to do for us today?
So I got the Pretty Birdie palette, which, like I said, I did swatches of it, and I really thought this is a great palette to use for this look because it's got reds and blues and golds. So I think it's gonna be great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with this color right here. This is the color Lea, and I'm gonna use that as a base all over my lid from my eyebrows down. And then what I'm going to do on top of that is I'm going to lay down a little bit of this color, which is called Fancy, and it's kind of a really shimmery, mermaidy blue, but I'm going to put it in the crease. So my point is to kind of build up color a little bit, and then I'm going to lay down Wing It right on top of it. So I want to see if I can kind of create like a complex texture of it, if that makes sense. Eventually we're going to go in with Snitch, but we'll see where I'm going to put that because I'm kind of winging it, pun intended, as I go.
I want to see what it looks like.
All right, cool.
Wonder Woman is one of the oldest female superheroines of comic books. Not the oldest, there have been a few before her, but she is one of the oldest and popular, of the popular ones. She was actually created by a psychiatrist.
I'm not surprised.
His name is William Moulton Marston. And then he had an artist, Harry G. Peter, who based Wonder Woman off of his wife and his roommate. But she was a very forward-thinking character. She actually predated a lot of the big parts of the feminist movement. And the entire idea behind her was that she was going to take a lot of the tropes that were played with these female characters and subvert them. So she's a warrior woman, but she doesn't follow the warrior woman tropes. A lot of the warrior woman characters of the day, they would fight everything with violence. Lots and lots of violence. They would basically, the writers would overcompensate for the fact that she was female by having her be ultra warlike and almost ultra masculine. Because they didn't know what to do with heroines at the time.
Right.
She would either be really demure or she would be hyper aggressive. So what he did with her was he made her a diplomat.
Oh,
and she wants to, and she's actually an honorary diplomat to Themyscira, the island that they live on. But her whole shtick is that she tries to be a diplomat or a spy first. And if that doesn't work, she beats the crap out of it.
All right.
And she can. She definitely can. But I have a question for you.
Yes.
How much do you know about where she comes from?
All I know is that she's an Amazonian warrior princess, like Xena. Much like Xena.
Oh, yeah, you could probably say that Zeno is based a lot off of her.
Not Zeno, Xena.
I said Zeno.
You said Zeno.
I said, yeah. I have a
Twice.
cat named Zeno. So, you know, I say his name a lot. Zeno!
Get down. Get down, right down.
But when she was first created, her origin story was that her mother made her out of clay. Because the Amazons had no men on the whole island. They outlawed men. So they had to come up with a way around of, well, then how did she get born?
Yeah, exactly. I always wondered that. How do they get more men in that island?
The original mythology has it where they would kidnap men and force them into sex slavery.
All right, so I have not blended anything, and I did that for a reason. I just kind of laid in the blue right there, and I'm going to take the color Snitch, this red color right here, and I didn't know there was a little thingy. Ooh, that's a nice mirror. I'm going to take the red color Snitch, and I'm actually going to lay it down more in the crease on top of the blue, then run it down into my lash line down here. Then I'm going to take the color Ego, and Ego is going to go right on my lid, and then I'm going to take a little bit more of this color Snitch and kind of blend it over it on the outside. Then I'm going to take Free, and I'm going to lay that down on my inner eyelid, and then right here, right below my brow bone. So
her first storyline kind of went around all of that by having Hippolyta, her mother, make her out of clay, and then each of the Greek gods kind of came by and gave her a blessing, including Hercules.
Fun fact, what Shakespearean work does Hippolyta show up in?
I don't remember, honestly.
It's Midsummer Night's Dream.
Oh, I thought that was Titania.
Titania is a fairy, but Hippolyta is the queen.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah,
it's the dual role. Usually, it's played by the same person. The queen and then the fairy queen, they're played by the same people.
Oh, there you go. Because I would have guessed Tempest, but I would have been completely wrong there.
No, yeah.
In 2011, DC did a complete relaunch of everything called New 52, and in it, they gave her a completely different origin story where she is a demigod. Her father was Ares. But in more recent titles, they've kind of been playing around with that, not making it exactly clear which of those origin stories is true. I don't know why they're doing that, but that's what they're doing. Here's the problem that I have with Wonder Woman right now. That's the most of her story that I can really figure out. There's been a huge chunk of time that's been lost, at least in my knowledge of what you have for Wonder Woman, until you get to these new movies, which are based very much off of her re-released form after the New 52 and after the new Rebirth series. There was actually a period of time where she lost her powers.
Yes, I do remember that a little bit.
It was during what was called the Silver Age of comics, right at the end of the Silver Age. All the Themyscirians kind of vanished into another dimension, and she lost her powers, and that's when she took on a little bit more of her spy role, and she had to learn actual martial arts, because she couldn't rely on her powers anymore. Which I think, even though they don't really play that up in the new stuff, I don't think, that's probably why she is better than Superman and Batman. Because she has superpowers. She's super strong, super fast, but she also knows martial arts. And Batman knows martial arts, but has no superpowers. Superman has superpowers, but no martial arts. He doesn't actually know how to fight. He just kind of bashes things.
Exactly.
So that's why when you see her in Batman versus Superman, she kicks more butt than both of them because she can use her superpowers even better than Superman can.
That is true.
She also has that lasso of truth, which has been a very interesting trope that they, not trope, but a mechanic that they've used throughout to kind of get the information that she needs to get. As long as she's got you wrapped up in it, you have to tell the truth. And I don't know, they've kind of played it differently depending on different comics. It could be subjective truth, like what you know to be true, or it could be actual truth that you have to speak. It's supposed to be unbreakable, but they've broken it a whole bunch of times and then put it back together. Interesting thing that I did find in trying to figure out all this missing history, did you know she has a weakness?
What is her weakness?
Bondage.
All right.
If a man were to take her 2 silver bracelets and chain them together, she temporarily loses her powers. This was put into the character by the creator, but for not the reasons that you'd think. Because you think, well, that just makes her into a damsel in distress. Except they would always write away that she would find a way out of that.
I'm going to use this color, which is Show Me, and it is a bronzy color, which I'm going to put in my lower waterline. I'm going to use the Starlux eyeliner pen. I found some more liquid pens that I'm trying to use up, so I'm going to use this in my upper line to wing out a little bit more dramatically, maybe a little heavier. And then on my lips, I'm using NARS Anita. I'm just going through all of my lipsticks right now, but this is a really nice, like, paler tone to kind of offset the look we're having here. You can really see the difference in layers between the blues, the red, and then the gold as it comes down. And I was so impressed with this color right here, how it went on just so vibrantly, and also the red snitch color. But what's really interesting to me is that, like, if you put this color in your crease and you don't blend it out immediately, it will stay, which means it's probably going to stay all day now because it's not budging, which is pretty amazing, and we didn't really realize when we did the swatches like how that is, but you can really see the pigmentation and you can tell what's going on here. It looks interesting for sure.
So in the stories, she was a UN ambassador to Themyscira, but in recent history, 2016 actually, she was made an actual UN ambassador in the real world. An ambassador for the empowerment of women and girls in a ceremony by Undersecretary General Christina Galash and by a couple actresses. For like 2 months later, they kind of dropped her from that role because they all were like, it's a fictional character. But she really is all about female empowerment, and not in the traditional senses that like a lot of old writers would do, because she promotes a lot of the things that the feminist movement would later take up as their banners of female empowerment as independence, of being able to do whatever you wanted to do, rather than just doing fashion roles and being a secretary. And in the golden age, she did have to fight to be whatever she wanted to be, because when she joined the Justice Society, they made her the secretary.
Of course they did.
And the creator was livid. So in the more recent years, when they created the Justice League, she became one of the founding members, and everybody's like, if she's mad at you, just walk away and pray, because she is one of the more powerful members.
My finished look. I have to say, I haven't really used this NARS lipstick a lot, but I forget, it is so creamy. When I put it on, it's just so amazingly creamy. I like this look a lot. Just in looking at it up close, I just don't know if you can see exactly the detail that's on this eye.
It's really gorgeous.
It's really interesting. So yeah, you got anything else for us about Wonder Woman?
I think that could be just about covering it. The problem, like I said, I would love to talk more about her storylines, but I can't find a lot of them.
So I'm hoping that this movie does, the movie that's coming out this weekend, that it really does bring to light a lot of more of her background, as far as where she comes from and who she is. Yeah.
The other reason why I do like this new version is because of how they've designed her. I always had a problem with her having that star-spangled bikini bottom thing that she's popular with. I can't get behind that because it's just too sexualizing.
Right.
But in the modern reversion, which is also done in the comics, she's actually wearing real Hellenic armor, at least at the bottom portion. It's called terujas, which is just feathers of hardened leather.
Oh, yeah.
So she actually is wearing armor now.
Oh, interesting. All right, well, thank you so much for joining with us and seeing how we created this look and talking about Wonder Woman. Make sure you join us on Wednesdays, Fridays.
And sometimes Sundays.
And until then,
stay zany.
Bye-bye.